to talk to you about Fracture. How do we feel like these maps go for FPX? You're thinking that they take it across the line? 2-1, reverse sweep?
Yeah, probably.
All right. I wanted to get that on paper. I wanted to get that in writing. Can you just sign this? I'm going to sell this after the show.
Oh, sure.
Thanks, Tom. Do you want to read that out?
No.
All right. So, round one, about to kick off, and we've got XSET on the defense. Fracture is a specialty for FPX. I mean, this is something else. Zekin going out for the early fight. He's got a challenge of 3 players here already. The first found and the trade attempt. Def good for it, but he can't get out. That sees FPX with a decent bit of control. Still, though, BCJ is on the site. The hero of the previous pistol round, now about to be challenged. Reinforcements on the way. That's a brave play. He's gone back into the spawn. He's trying to buy some time so his teammates can come behind and destroy them. A great reset for XSET, but FPX will gain a plant.
It almost makes it seem like they're setting up for the retake from afar. It doesn't necessarily look like they're going to be coming straight through the drop. Instead, he's making his move into sand. The thing is, the afterplant from FPX is a decent one. They can almost sit out of this, and Ardis, well, you mentioned the aggression in the last map! That shot is absurd! And it's going to give them the man advantage into this fight.
If I'm not wrong, that was a wallbang through Aaron. They go to the site, Sagetsu up top, not spotted, and he has a free kill. In fact, it's not free, because Ardis has stolen it from under his nose. 1-0. A great start for FPX. The trading on Dish was perfect, and from there, they didn't leave anything unchecked.
I think this is why a lot of people are going to question that Cypher choice. It's not necessarily because the agent is bad for the map or the setups or the ideas that they had. It's just what Ardis can do when he's allowed to get aggressive, when he's allowed to get up in your face, and he has that get out of jail free card. So I think that it's going to be really tough to play against. And sort of leaning into the stat, the last few times they played this, 13-7 Paperex, 13-7 Optic, 13-5 Fnatic, 13-5 DRX. Like, these are all top teams, innovative teams that they have battered.
Yes, and that's obviously the concern here. It's why you look at this series and you think, well, look, if FPX win the first map, it's over. And if it goes to 3, it might still be over in favor of FPX. I mean, look, there's no secret. FPX are favorites. These last 2 maps favor them. It's an uphill battle for XSET, but they've got the buffer. They've got the safety net to play with. The second round won't see any real success. We just got a few pistols to play with. Headhunter on Cryo has 2 shots in it. For FPX, they do have to be cautious when pushing. They don't want to run into a stack. And Tom, I see 4 players on the B site. An opportunity for some damage, perhaps.
Yeah, it does look like they're walking right into where all of the players are currently sitting. Bar Cryo, who's been left to almost just work as that one defensive unit on the other side of the map. Zipan and Ardis, though, have been able to get quite far. They'll have the information of Zekin and isolate him easily, but Def has been able to find one. They don't check for BCJ, but the right click. It can be so kind, but it can be so cruel.
Yeah, that's RNG right there.
Left.
Unlucky.
All right.
One fight. You know, he had his pistol round.
Your bias is showing.
No, that's, I saw the server tick rate dive, so don't worry about it. I think I saw some lag on his screen. Cryo, last guy alive, 2 shots in the headhunter, only fires 1 before he's met by Xiao. That's the second round for FPX, locked in and secure. Now XSET get to respond. Rifles about to come through. Whoa, that was 1 FPS, wow.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Don't run it back. We don't need a replay on it, but just trust me.
So what you're saying
horrible.
is that wasn't his fault. You're blaming the entirety of the production team
I
here
think
at
the power
Riot.
went out.
The people that hire you, you know, you're blaming them.
No. I think it was the power. A power outage. It could have been lightning.
I don't know. There's a lot of lights on in here.
Yeah. It's probably draining from the power of his PC, I'd say.
Okay.
Something like that. Unlucky either way.
It's a good thing you don't work in tech.
Yeah. I actually used to be an IT engineer. Yeah. We used to get called back to places all the time. They just kept breaking stuff. That wasn't me. Third round.
This is the thing with FPX. They always have these better buys going into these rounds because of the way they purchase. You've got the light shields. You also had some pistols in the previous like they normally do. And they've already managed to find the opener onto Cryo. A huge head to take early in this round.
That's a massive kill. The follow-up there, though.
Okay.
An unlikely hero steps up to the plate. Def. Your flasher, your breach player picking up the first. He has seen players cross up into heaven. They've got to be worried now about that. Not just heaven, but the fact that they can't necessarily take the fight without main control. Second, a bit of a whiff. He's gotten damage done, but now FPX should have the side off the back of it. No Viper Wall to get them across. Angel smokes are down. They need to go here and now, but look at XSET re-aggressing, taking the control back. The 2v2, Xiao low, Zipan. If he goes down, this round becomes very difficult, but he's made it out with the spike.
Oh, this is smart. Like, you can see XSET, they're slowly clearing all of the angles around the site, almost patiently waiting for this move. I don't know if they're going to realize in time. Like, it's going to be a solid afterplan situation for FPX before they even begin to move, because they've spotted the spike within the B site. But I think it was actually BCJ smoke that allows them to exit back through. Just a nasty surprise for them in a moment's time, and I think the realization is slowly coming through.
Yep. And now it's certainly dawned on them. BCJ and Aaron have the clutch on hand. No way for any of these ultimates to come online. It comes down to positioning, and FPX have the timer on their side. This clock just running down, ticking away. And so many angles left to clear. You see, it's only now that they're even gaining vision on the site. These players could be up and drop. They could be literally anywhere, and it's the cross being held by Zipan. That causes problems. Great tag to BCJ. Follow up by Aaron. We've seen a player here before, and Aaron won't fall to it this time. A 3K from this man. With the defuse, one step closer to having that res, just one orb away. FPX though, and this is the downside. You see a team like them come into round 3 after winning 2-0 to start. They've got full rifles. You think, hey, now it's an eco, easy peasy. But no, it's the light shields. It's the way they buy early. And they're right back into a buy round.
Yeah, and the danger as well is that they're also going to have the tour de force, which you've seen how Artis has already started off this game. He has been fierce in the early stages of this one. Now we are going to have ourselves a slight pause going into this next round, so some time will be taken to maybe that power outage.
Yeah, no, I told you those lights. Yeah, they're someone's hooking up to his PC.
They're definitely off.
Yeah, now we'll be good to go. Well, the technical pause is coming through, and it's not a bad time for it. It's still very, very early days. As we said, this is about to be the first proper buy round, I guess, for both teams. Although really, FPX came into the previous with much of a proper buy round as you like, but it's that tour de force. The one-shot scoped weapon coming out represents a big danger for the XSET side, as well as that. They're not going to have a ton of money after the previous round.
We had a client crash even.
Client clash?
Client crash.
Which one of our clients are clashing?
Well, I would say probably everyone at the moment.
Well, yeah, I suppose. There's a bit of a scrap on the server. Luckily, we keep it there. This technical pause should be remedied shortly then, if we're just loading right back up. That language there, what is it? It looks so different to everything else.
I think it's Thai, but I'm not certain. So
Yeah.
I'm sure if I'm wrong, there would be a lot of people correcting me.
We did look, and it was like, we figured it could be Thai in a different font, right? Because it doesn't look exactly like the alphabet, but in a cool font, maybe.
Okay, I don't know about that.
I don't know, man. I
Oh,
just want to know. I'm always interested. The one that got me before was always Mola Mola. I never knew, because it's a fish. And I was really confused why we said timeout, damer, like a couple other languages, and then it was just fish. But no, it's actually also doubles up. I think it was Turkish in the end.
I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like
Someone in the stadium shout at me if it wasn't. There we go. There's Turkish.
Well,
pretty conclusive.
Okay. Yeah,
Everyone in the stadium was
conclusive
paying
evidence.
attention to me right there, so we're good.
Well, before you irritate someone, which is probably already happened.
Oh, it's too late.
I'm going to look at like what we'll actually have going into this next round, because I think that although we do have the tour de force available for Artis, there are a lot of ults that are very close to being online for XSET. Now, obviously, the main sort of gimmick, I guess, of Fracture is the fact that you can fight for the 4 orbs around the map. There's opportunities to get Def with that Rolling Thunder, potentially to have that into the next round. The res is something you mentioned that they kind of threw that extra orb onto. The question will be is how much can they sort of get out of those ults, and if they can get the right orb, because that always seems to be the difficult thing for the defensive side, is almost trying to read your opponents to the point where you go, okay, I'm going to go for this orb because you're probably trying to go for a different one.
Well, Tom, I've heard from production, and unfortunately, we'll be going back in. I'm kidding. The game's ready to roll in just a moment, and I already see the timer ticking away, so let's get right back into Fracture. Round 4 about to kick off, and as we said, the buy round in full effect. Artis, he has got a rifle in his hand. Whether he's going to pop the ult with the rifle,
I would say probably not.
I don't imagine so. Keeping it for an eco, perhaps. It's been a curiosity for the FPX side. We've seen a couple of times a difference between them and others. And this rifle round here on the attack, we'll see a very slow approach. A trap on north side and everybody else scrapping for the southern side of main in each site. Looks like that's a fake, though. The boom bot thrown through. A lot of control, some smokes, and now they start to shift to B.
Yeah, just slowly walking their way back. You can see the clearance of under. Nobody currently pushing that far. In fact, it is a relatively passive hold at the moment for the side of XSET. Execution, though, beginning to come in, and he's been caught. So much utility thrown in his direction. It's on to Def again. He had a solid start to this game, but Angels ended up getting a clean double. And now, well, everything just seems to be falling apart for XSET.
Yeah, I mean, he's the first man in, but I want to look at the assists. I mean, I don't know if I can request right now we get a replay from the start of that round, just to kill, because there were 3 assists. That was in a matter of seconds of the round starting, and 3 players assisted Angel in getting that frag. And that just goes to show how difficult it is to hold a site up against a team like FPX. They will play it slow sometimes, but when they decide to come at you, they are instantly in your face. And XSET are even losing players from behind now, with Aaron falling. Cryo's left alone, and there is no safe haven for him to fall to.
He's stuck in the mud. He's being flanked, but he is actually going to be spotting out that player. Angel really wants to get rid of this extra gun, but at the cost of their own economy, they do have to be a little bit careful. Now, they have the tour de force, so it might actually be worth risking just to remove that final gun. The problem, though, for XSET is financially they are in the bin. Like, they just about managed to scrape through the last round in the 2 versus 2. But if they are going to buy into this one, it's not going to be particularly pretty.
Yeah, that's definitely a big blow dealt by FPX. Again, the ability to essentially run it back on that buy round. You have your bonus, quote-unquote, which is a chance to experiment with a buy round, almost win, and then bounce back in with an advantage. It's frankly gross how they play this game. They're taking just milking every advantage they can out of those early rounds. Reveal, snake bite, they're ready for Cryo, but he wins the duel, still pays for it with his life.
Yeah, an early trade, not too bad to be honest, because that was the rifle. That was what they actually managed to keep it from the previous round. So no surprise that you do see that little bit of aggression coming through from XSET, basically just trying to get that rifle into position where it can do damage. You can see the orbs actually being retrieved. Viper's Pit available for Saigetsu. I don't know if he'd use it in this round, like fighting off against the eco. And what you can see Xiao just doing a little bit of spring cleaning as they do get rid of the remaining weapons.
I have this fight.
Down to the core it goes as FPX make their way around to B. They've already had their even trades, and they still have a ton of utility to clear out. You can see the nade up top. Great shot from Artis. He's got it on lockdown. Actually kind of interesting to use that ult now, because obviously you're in the anti-eco, so pulling that out, they kill you, they can't pick it up. You're just going to get a classic from your body, so it really does pay off this time around. And I mean, look, I think it's fair to say he's favored in the ranged fights. He's just scoped in, taking down Aaron. And it is a clean round after that initial duel, which is perfect. They've dealt with the rifle in a 1-to-1 trade, and they've not struggled with any other aspect of closing out this round.
Wow, BCJ. He's just hoping he can catch someone on the way out. Obviously not wanting to hold on to what will be the last weapon. Well, this kill won't actually benefit him too much. It gets the extra orb, but there's no gun to be had. That's why Artis is pushing so aggressively, wanting to try and remove a little bit. And, Saigetsu, maybe not.
And that's why he's pushing aggressively to get the kill.
He just wanted the kill. Like, that's just Saigetsu. Like, the man has flashy gameplay as well as flashy trousers.
There's the timeout called. XSET needing a moment. Coming into this next buy round, 4 ultimates online, but a few for their opponents, and in particular, Nightfall, Viper's Pit, 2 big threats. You slip up, fighting back into any site becomes a whole lot more difficult once that Viper's Pit comes into play.
The thing is, looking at XSET though, they have basically the perfect setup for a retake. Like, aggress on one side of the map as a squad. If you run into the stack of players, okay, maybe use a Rolling Thunder, use the overdrive to sort of try and shut that down. you got the tour de force as well. Then in terms of the retake, if that doesn't work, you still have the res available. Maybe you could leave Cryo playing like the extremities, like in the sort of mid-spawn position to try and have that cross, catch a player. If he goes down, you can res him back into the round. So there's so much available for XSET here that they should, in theory, be out on top. The terrifying thing, though, is the artist. I feel like he almost took being put on Cypher personally. Like, I feel like he's looked across at Angel and goes, I'm just going to show you what I could have done if you let me play my agent.
Yeah, Angel, you wanted to op on B-Long,
Yeah.
didn't you? Yeah, how did that go, brother? Wow. 4-1. A strong start. You know, I'm even just looking down at XSET, and the thing that I think immediately, you put down a Viper's Pit, get Rolling Thunder. The scariest thing then is to have a player like Zekken.
Yeah.
With or without his ult, I couldn't give a damn. It seems like a Vandal is 100% accurate when running for him as well. So he comes dashing on through while you're stunned up, and, well, you're getting gunned up. Luckily, to start this one out, we're not going to have Cryo get gunned up. He is instead disappearing back to the B site. Early aggression not working out for XSET. Close hold by BCJ. He's got lots of support, but FPX don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to sell early presence in towards A main in the majority of rounds, with the ultimate goal of doubling back and fighting in towards B. The thing is, though, this time, Cryo is waiting, and actually it's only going to be a tag.
Not too often that you get to see a tag from that. The wall a little bit too thick, getting in the way. Artist will survive, and for this man, with an operator still in hand, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's pretty close to idyllic. 48 seconds left as they look for the push, and again, these reactive ults on XSET, especially your Rolling Thunder, a big problem for them right now. They need to make their way onto that site. That's exactly what Zipam will do, and it's to bait out the Rolling Thunder. He's the only man hit by it. They'll respond in kind, but XSET, they are dominating in the duels.
30 seconds
Yeah,
left.
and the thing is, the time is just gone. 25 seconds to try and make a move. Nice shot from Xiao. They've already used that Nightfall, though. Unless they can get right into the site and put a Viper's Pit down, I don't really see how there's any way they try and get into this. And while nice reactive use of the ultimates there from XSET, basically just slowing them down, stunning them up, and having Cryo on that cross. It was almost exactly what I wanted to see from them.
I do like the idea from FPX of sacrificing Zipan, essentially. Dives in there to his death, but they weren't able to find the space on the follow-up. Ultimately the problem. 4-2. A response from XSET, that's well-founded. It cost them a little bit, but it cost FPX a lot as well, so I don't think they're going to be too upset about that, especially with the fact that they could very well have had that opening duel.
I think
Frankly, there was no wall in the way there.
Well, yeah,
It hit his hand. Was it his leg?
If it's a leg shot, then it wouldn't have killed him.
It was real. I mean, it looked like he shot.
I think he was on the leg and then maybe flicked up a bit, like while shooting.
And then, of course, you have to remember, like, server tick and everything like that when we're observing. We're not, like, on the player's POV and so on. But I think that one probably would have been player POV. Anyways.
Already. No tour de force, but there is an operator, and this time, well, Artis is going to take that opening battle. He's been fantastic so far. The swing out from Aaron, though, he takes a lot of damage, and he pre-fires the rope. Ready! Looks for a little bit more. Not quite there, but it was very close. Angel down to just 47 HP. 3v3 ensues. Viper's Pit going to go down, but I think this is more being used just to shut them out from being able to see the map. This is just destroying. Like, he really is making a statement game at this point.
Beautiful trade. No problems for FPX when you've got a guy like Artis dominating in those early duels. I mean, the operator comes through as, I guess, the highlight for FPX in that round, and, well, that was starting it out. It certainly was in the end.
He has double the kills of anyone else in the server.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally the difference at the moment. Like, you look at everything else and you remove Artis, it looks fairly normal. But, yeah, as I said, I almost feel like he took that personally from the last one. I was just like, now it's my time. 5-2. Shutting him down is not going to be easy, and the buy is not looking great. In fact, it looks like Cryo is just going to have to play the Headhunter here.
Yeah, he certainly is. Don't think he's got too much of a chance of getting that ulti online this time around. There's a lot of orbs on this map, but not that many. I think he is going for one towards A main, at least an early peek, but he's being forced back off of it. Denial from FPX with a Prowler. information for them to work with. They've even forced a Paranoia out towards A main. So some utility being committed here for XSET, but they're not rotating. They're still sticking strong on this side. They've lost second though. Another fantastic opener for FPX.
Yeah, they do well just to isolate the battle. Like, the point was for Def to take contact and then him to be the surprise, but with the utility put in from FPX, it just left it down. Cat and Zek can just win individual fights, and a lot of the time the answer is yes, but being pushed by a boombot as well. Cryo, aggro spot, he's open, he can just get one and TP away. That's all he can get here.
The jump peek has spotted him. Good luck getting out of there. Indeed, he just pops his TP as the push comes through, but the rotate from XSET, they've gambled it, and they've gambled correctly. The trap broken, Paranoia in. Still 3 players staring as they attempt to make their way through. Showstopper in play. Artist already good for 1. Showstopper on site, not even needed. It is being cleaned up by the rest of the players, leaving Def alone. The support player has to get a 4K, a 1v4, but only 2 more to go. One of those players is Artist, though. He's yet to miss a shot. He will be stunned up to start, a bit of space bought. But swinging into this, surely it's a death sentence.
He could use his aftershock, but it would give his position away, and that's happened anyway. Should be able to... Oh, I think that might have clipped the corner. Yeah, it's not going to reach, so Zipan can just stay in those backlines. Even still, he's going to be tagged up further, and Artist at this point just like, you know what, I've had enough of this guy. Just swinging him. 6 and 2, FPX in a commanding position. Not a bad round for what was invested there, though, for XSET. Like, being able to get the rotation almost spot on, having every single player there, and at least making things a little bit more costly, but Artist just really is not missing at the moment.
I am not cleaning this up.
Oh, that's a lie, Artist. You are cleaning this up. 15 to 6. And he has scraped the plate. 6 to 2. At this point, FPX, they've got the ball rolling, and it doesn't feel like a solution is close at hand for XSET, and that's the key thing. They can pick up some straggler rounds.
There's still not a buy here, though, for XSET.
That's it.
That's more of the problem, because the last round, like, it was 4 rifles, a headhunter, there were already pieces missing. Now they have to go for an eco, like, again, basically. Like, the last one wasn't an eco, but it was still not great. So they've kind of been economy diffed over the last couple of rounds. Yeah,
I mean, that's the name of the game for XSET, or for FPX, excuse me. We see it all the time. Waiting on the other side of the door this time around, A main, it's only BCJ to hold. With a stinger in hand, he doesn't stand too much of a chance of taking this one across the line.
Yeah, and the problem with this is, look how far they've got. They're already fully within the A site and actually going in towards the spawn. Now, BCJ is a little bit of a knife in the back. The problem is, his teammates are taking the brunt of him just almost waiting around. He needs to get something here. Paranoia put through, just attempting to get a kill. And now he's kind of just stuck between the entirety of the FPX squad, completely surrounded. Unfortunate.
Last player standing.
It's just so well handled by FPX. On the way through, they're slow, they're patient, and they're aware of the angles that they've left open. BCJ doesn't get the time to play that free. They were clearing sand, he moves in, opens the door. At that point, it's apparent where he is, and they make sure that they have 3 eyes looking to take him down. Absolutely no way out of there. For FPX, the lead is now locked in. They will end this half with an advantage. The question is, how strong of an advantage? Double digits still possible for them here with 3 rounds left to play for. And XSET won't be able to buy for all 3 of those if they lose right here.
Well, that's the thing. They need to break back now. Cryo being back on the operator, it was one of the real saving graces within the round that they won. The problem is the next, he got obliterated by Artist, who is now moved over to that tour de force again. He's been a problem to face off against. And you can see just the way that he's taking this control so quickly, like only 20 seconds into the round. This man is feeling unbelievably confident in his own ability. They're almost using him as a fake, sending him in completely alone. And just look at where Zipan's already got to. Now Artist strikes on the other side of the map, but the thing is they've already lost so much control.
At least a small blow. With Artist going down, the res coming into play, Shao falling as well. That means Def maintains control of A main. They can start to mount that comeback. Watching from the spawn, Cryo had his op trained in on that position. And this is one of the better responses we've seen from XSET. Looking confident from start to finish. They will not lose a single player second time as they come out with 5 alive. I don't know if we technically, I don't think we call that a Prime Gaming flawless, but yeah.
But you gave them the shout anyway.
Kinda is. kind of is. Economically, it is. They just used one ult.
Yeah. 7-3. Decent comeback. It's around the, again, I feel like a lot of that was almost based around selling a bit of a ruse with Artis. The problem is they did everything simultaneously, and then they were quick enough to actually kill off Artis that it didn't matter so much. Also, the aggression that came out from XSET had a huge amount of success just being able to lock down that side of the map. I do think FPX are probably going to slow things down, though. Like, that's them throwing a spanner in the works, being a bit more aggressive for a round. I think now they're just going to look to try and set up the man who's currently 16-7.
Oh, I thought that was going to be a swing. It makes sense, of course, the slow orb in play. No way that Artis can be swinging out wide and fast now. Cryo on the passive angle. Who gets greedy first? It's probably the one to go down, but look at that TP position from Artis. He's not going to be doing anything wild. He's taking it back, and he's starting to move. Looking for the A-side push. Now, for XSET, I'm not sure what the response is here. They've got a bit of A main control, a stack up on B, but now they're hearing the noise, the Rolling Thunder. That's the response. They've just Rolling Thundered it, ran away.
But that's the thing, Angel TP past the Rolling Thunder and Artis. They're being funneled towards him. It's just going to be the trades from FPX. This time, they trapped the players that caught them in the last round. And now, well, being hit up by that Nightfall, nobody can really look to try and pressure in, and they are taking fights on all corners of the map. That does, however, give Cryo a way back in.
I mean, that is a very valuable opening, and BCJ's in with another. Okay, we might still have a game on our hands. XSET looking for 5. This could be the round where they build themselves up to it. They need to get back in, and they haven't found Zipan just yet. A kill is the cost of revealing that position. Xiao blinded up. They won't be on him in time. The wall, perfect. Now there's the swing, baited out and perfectly done. XSET, they've gotten 4 on the board. It's the foundations, it's a minimum, but they really want to get this last round and make it that little closer.
Yeah, it's still a lot of these scenarios getting very dangerous, and I actually feel like this round is more lost by FPX than anything else. Like, you're in a 4v3 scenario, both players take fights on either side of A. Like, it just was a risk that wasn't really worthwhile. Like, you had Saigetsu fight BCJ and Cryo fight versus Angel on the other side of the map. You're not playing your advantages. Like, that's what FPX really should have been doing. Now, they could have easily, if they get those kills, they put the nail in the coffin, the round is won easily, but those are risks I just don't think were necessary in that sort of scenario.
To be perfectly honest with you, Tom, if XSET are winning this, it's a 2-1, right? At least in our minds coming into the series is where we're at.
Yeah.
It still seems difficult on Breeze, but here on Fracture, we don't count them as a team that should be taking it off FPX. I don't know that there is a team that should be taking this off FPX with the way they've been playing. The reality is, though, you make this game close, you make it competitive, FPX will be sweating going into that final map. And for XSET, they're already doing a fantastic job. We're seeing elements of the team show up that we haven't before. We were singing the praises of BCJ and Zekin on the previous map. In fact, this time it's Aaron that's leading the charge. And hell, Def is second up there.
Well, I think the thing to note, just back to your previous point, is that they basically played against the full, other top 3, top 4 teams of the tournament. And the most anybody got on this map was 7 rounds. With this full roster. Obviously, DRX did beat them, but that was playing with a sub. So, no offense to Cider, but I think Saigetsu subbing back into that Viper role definitely made a huge difference. But nonetheless, already getting back into a pretty solid position. Like, this was a map that was already starting to look done with how things started out with a 7-2 scoreline. If they can get this last round, it's competitive. Which, again, as said, with how good FPX are on this map, that alone is solid, and then they can try and build something into the next.
Oh, the wall push? You're crazy. That stun had hit, so of course the TP has to be taken by Artis. He gets back to safety. They reset for an A push. But
that's the thing, they've seen a stun, they've seen a wall, they've seen Zekin, so you know that the maximum that can be here is just a couple of players. Now, Cryo is still lurking around in towards the dish, the rotation coming through from BCJ to join him, so they're going to be able to hold on to this control, at least for the moment.
Does he get greedy? They've done so well to avoid giving the opportunity away to Cryo, and in the end, we need to see that followed through on. Down goes Zekin. Zipan with a double. I'm not even sure how he got Aaron, whether he saw him or the bullet straight through the smoke took him down. Either way, We're left in a tough spot for XSET to gain any value. Angel's left down to 5 HP, but he survives. They need to land the shot here and now. It's Cryo left alive. The up in hand, good for 1, 2, with the headhunter, and he's moving to the site. He might even be able to stick it. Artis has to run, sprint at top speed. He'll come around the corner. He's being spotted. Cryo with the tap, but the time is too far gone. He will not even hit the shot to close. 8 rounds for FPX. And a fantastic clutch from Artis.
Yeah, a really nice try out in the end from Cryo, who definitely seemed to build himself up into the scoreboard at least a little bit towards the end. But this is more of what I wanted to see from FPX. Much more passive hold in these afterplants, playing those crossfires, and it was only towards the end that this really got close, and that was once the time was already ticked.
And that's it. Your teammates had bought you enough time, and it's those things when you have the advantages, the 3v1, it's throwing yourself at the player that ends up costing you when it comes down to those final seconds. FPX putting on a strong performance here on Fracture. Half 2 after the analyst desk.
Thank you very much. Guys, that's much better, isn't it? There we go.
Much more expected overall, especially from Artis, right? He only gets 10 kills in 20 rounds on Pearl playing a Cypher. He beat that in 7 rounds. Now he's on like 18, so a much better performance from him overall. It's not to say that there's not merit of playing Cypher on Pearl. We just don't know yet. We need to see more as viewers anyway. But it's the fact that you put Artis on an agent like that, take him off the chamber. This is the kind of performance on the right that you miss out on.
I mean, the good thing about it as well is to remember that him on the chamber, usually on Fracture, surprisingly enough, actually doesn't convert a lot of operator kills usually. You go back to Copenhagen, you look at the successful operator kills that he's tried to get, and they range over an entire map, not just a half, about 3 to 4 operator kills a map. This man has almost doubled that. This man has taken the operator in one half, absolutely decimated XSET, set a brand new precedence for how he plays chamber on this map, and is absolutely showing what he is able to do on chamber.
Maybe because there's no KO on the side for XSET. There's no fade or anything, so he's kind of allowed to get away scot-free, right?
Yeah, I love that. I love the fact that he can just do what is his comfort zone, bring it in, and identify that there is a win condition that won't limit him using that operator. That's great.
I mean, he's been having the time of his life. Yeah. Do you guys feel like this is going to go to map 3?
Yes, yes. I would have been very surprised if FPX lost Fracture. I really would have been.
I'd like to see more of like Zekken and Def, like the way that the Neon and Breach have been playing together, but it feels like FPX have got a good read on him, able to shut him out, and they seem very comfortable so far.
Well, the desk thing, we're going to be going to map 3, Mitch and Tom. I hope you cancelled your dinner plans.
Look, I'm with the desk on that one. I think rolling into this, we're expecting
Sue eat dinner. Like it is quarter to midnight.
Yeah, Sue.
My reservation is long gone.
Where do you think we're going to eat dinner after this? They got a dumpster out back planned, like 8 to 4.
That's insane. 78% of their first kills coming from 2 players.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is truly ridiculous. I said, what did I say earlier? 81, 80. I wasn't that far off. Just running the math in my head from watching XSET demos, BCJ demos. Full swing from Artis. He's got the TP online. No shot to hit to start. And look at XSET immediately. They just sprint into the site, but there's plenty of players still waiting for them. Artis.
Oh my god.
3 kills in a single mag of the Classic, down to 4 and an ace. Oh my! They were already winning the game, but that is a decimation in the pistol.
He's 23 and 8. Okay, like I get that there's a special relationship between Angel and Artis. They like to troll each other. They like to have some risky compositional picks. Just put the man on the chamber. Just put him on chamber. Don't bother putting him on anything else when he's doing stuff like this. Look at the scoreboard. The next highest has 11. He's on 23. Like, it's so ridiculous how good he's performing.
And again, in case you only looked at the right side, that is the next highest on the server Tom's talking
he's on 24. It's still going up. He's almost got his ult. He has 1 away. They increased the orbs so that it would be harder to do this.
Truly a ridiculous force of nature. But XSET have got control. Hey, look, they've walked up into B, and they're going to catch him from behind. A summary execution by VCJ.
He bleeds.
He does.
He bleeds.
If it bleeds, you can kill
That's
it.
actually the rifle down. That's the only Vandal they have.
They don't have the spike, so even with the site controlled, there's no way to get this plant. You got to go wrapping back around. Now, I'm not sure that FPX have necessarily seen that, but it's still going to be a thorn in the side of XSET. Although, FPX have to account for that. I mean, why are these guys not planting? Why are they not trying to take control? Is it because they left the spike somewhere, or are they going somewhere else? I mean, they'll find out fairly soon. But let's see whether they're looking the right way. Sagetsu, it all comes down to timing. You can see him thinking about turning around, but oh no!
It's happened.
Who's put the lights back in?
It's both bonus rounds. BCJ is whiffed on a guy who's not even looking at him. Oh, the curse of Mitchman is strong.
I think someone did something in that halftime break. That's all I'm saying. I saw him kick a cable out. Wow. Unfortunate. Another player lost.
They're running out of time. That's the thing. If they are going to go for something, they have to go for it now. Well, Angel's just going to slaughter them. And that's the thing with the way that they play these bonus rounds, is you look at that and go, Tom, they lost 2 players. There's got to be weapons on the floor. That's going to cost them a lot. Well, they actually just lost 2 pistols. That's all they had. So you had Sagetsu, who was only using a ghost, and then Angel, who was using a ghost and just picks up the rifle that was dropped by his teammates. So they actually just come in and, just in case you didn't realize, which I'm sure many of you did, because it's literally glowing in green. But yeah, there is a tour de force online for Ardis. This is going to be a really tough bonus round. And the fact is Zekken is actually playing with a Spectre, so I imagine he's about to blitz through.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. There's a tour de force popped right away. Speed, the way to beat that. But Angel goes down for his troubles. With Zekken deleted, Sagetsu is left alone. Now he might need some help, maybe not. Good shot to Def, and he's out.
Yeah, he's so low on HP, but just not managing to get that trade. And the thing is as well, they know that, okay, we haven't seen Ardis on this side of the map, so he's definitely somewhere around A. So you almost want to continue to try and push in this direction. Avoid the superstar performer on FPX. Cryo has been able to take quite a bit of ground, though. I feel like this is being spotted every once in a while by Xiao, but if he catches a timing, which he doesn't, there may have been an opportunity.
That wall still being online here for the defense. Can go back up anytime now. The attempted retake, it just closes so many angles for them to play back into. Wall off. Deeper smoke? No, in fact, it was the same. Up close. I thought perhaps they'd fight for some aggressive control of Jenny. It would have been ludicrous.
Oh,
noteworthy for sure. The nade hasn't hit.
Over. Yeah, it's not going to do the damage. That would have been a kill almost guaranteed, although BCJ was able to shadow step out of there. Now Aaron up close on the wall. The rest of the players sat back in a crossfire, just trying to hold as the wall is going to be broken. Zipan looking to try and take that charge forward, and Ardis still with the tour de force.
There comes a prowler from Xiao to clear the way, but they haven't cleared Aaron. Ardis has got 2. He is so quick, so good with this weapon. What? He had no right to even have it online in this round. A bonus, and I feel gross even calling it that. 11-4. Frankly, ridiculous how good this team is on Fracture. I think we sold it pretty... True. I think we sold it pretty hard coming into this map, that FPX are a damn good team on this map, but I still think we undersold it. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think it's very often that you get into round 16.
He's just chuckling away!
Yeah, we're in round 16 and he still has double anyone else in the server. Like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, you say rare? No, it doesn't happen. It just doesn't, unless it's like an insanely good team.
No, unless it's
nerds.
You're kind of getting, and normally you're losing.
Yeah.
You're not normally winning.
Yeah. This guy's left in 1v5s, he gets 4, and then he's like, what more could I do? But this time around, there's not much more that Ardis could be doing. He's practically taking the whole server down round after round, cleaning up everything on his plate. All the decorations gone. 2 rounds left for FPX, and XSET only have money for this one. It's now or never to make this push happen. No ultimates to help them out. They'll be moving towards the A site, and you see Cryo, the only man towards that south side. He's going to have a lot to do, unless they're all diverting their attention towards Dish. Well, they certainly won't now.
Cryo being spotted. The thing is, even just being a nuisance could be enough to cause that distraction. You see the stun being sent through, the side push coming through. Zipan has been able to hold on at least for the moment. He hits the instant shot and gets one with a nade. It's already back. The nade's already back in his hands, and they just haven't been able to kill him. Now the rotations come through. The time has already been fought. And while Xiao It's just putting them in the grave. Death so far out of this. He's now going to meet the Show as well, as it's 12 and 4. XSET are getting battered.
Yeah, this is so much more from FPX than I expected. So much more from Artis than I even thought possible. This here, though, the nade dropped.
That's just a delay. It's this.
Bang! And the nade catches Aaron on the attempt to trade. I mean, in his wildest dreams, he didn't think he was going to have a second nade online moments later.
I do want to know, in these sort of pauses, what do you even say? Like, what do you even say?
Can you say?
I know what, actually, I know what I'd say. DRX did it. You know, yeah, 12-4 down, it's
Tom,
possible.
if I was on that stage in this scenario and you called a pause to say that, I'd stand up and slap you. I hope you know that.
Like, if I look like the Don?
No, God, no.
No.
But you look like you do, Tom.
Yeah.
So my statement
But that's
stands.
the thing, he's the one on the stage, not me. I'm saying
Hey,
what
listen,
he's saying.
Tom, the Don can say whatever he wants, but don't you put words in his mouth, all right? Until I hear it from his mouth. Nah, 8 rounds in a row. It's tough. Like I said, if you manage to make this map close, it works wonders for you coming into the next. It'll make FPX sweat. Well, they have a long road to go to even think about this being competitive. FPX, 8 chances in a row to close
Also,
it.
just look at the buy. I think that's all that really needs to be
Yeah.
said. There are no ults online. There's a couple that are close. You're looking at Guardians at best, a Headhunter for Cryo, just so that they can get anything into this round. Like, it is the worst case scenario going up against an 8-round deficit. You need a miracle, and Zekken might be the one to try and give it to them. Already taking some very early space over Dish. That will at least grant Def the orb, which does give them the Rolling Thunder. The thing is, though, we've learned anything from Zipan. That might not be the most effective ult to use. That's a nice shot, though. Maybe a little bit over-aggressive from Saigetsu, and he gets caught.
Yeah, an Artis, you know, his time here is limited. There's so many angles for him to worry about. Normally, you'd expect a player to already be falling back, especially with the op, but he's just going out for more. Never satisfied with just the one, still sticking around. This is madness. He's got his TP to fall back on. Utility should be coming at him any moment now, but Artis wants that little bit more, and he'll get it.
Oh, the TP spot might not be the best. He's had to fall off of it and will get isolated, but he set up his teammates and left onto Death just to try and grasp at any straws he possibly can, but he's going to go down as well. 13-4. It is destruction as FPX swing back. Pearl may be just a gimmick as XSET